show you how to shade the face, like the different areas. I'm also going to show you how to use charcoal. Charcoal is very fast, and it's messy, and you got to be a little careful with it. So, first things first, you need your charcoal stick, you need a kneaded eraser, and you need a chamois. I'm going to lay down a base layer. Make sure you use a certain type of paper. We have the certain types of paper here. You just need to ask us. Okay, use your chamois, help create a midtone on your paper. There are 3 different kinds of value that we use when shading the face. We have shadows, which are going to be your heaviest value, midtones, which, as the name suggests, is the middle value. Last but not least, we have our highlights, which is going to be close to white as possible. I'm going to say, for people who are just starting with charcoal, put down a base layer. You'll see artists not entirely cover their paper in a midtone. That's because they already have in their heads what they are going to be drawing, where the values are going to be. That way they can have more intense highlights. But for people who are just playing around or just starting, create a midtone. So I got my midtone on my paper. First thing I'm going to start off with is, of course, my head. On the sides a little bit. I'm going to add in the cheekbones. Add in that chin. And then the jawline. So the way that I'm going to be doing it right now, you guys are going to notice, chamois, it's kind of like an eraser. Which is why you want a midtone, because it can just blend everything in. Yeah. What you guys are going to notice is that, I'll do a little bit of mapping out. So, your heaviest shadows are going to be here, under the cheekbones, around here, around the temples, in the eye sockets. It's not done yet. Under the nose, into the upper lip, and then underneath the lower lip, and a little bit into the chin. All right. So after that, I'm going to start blending it in a little bit. This is where I like charcoal because you can use your finger to blend. So already, I'm starting to see a face forming here. I'm going to clean up my edges a little bit. Using my chamois. Clean up these construction lines. I don't need them anymore. Make sure my eye sockets are even to each other. All right.
What if you don't feel like you're ready for charcoal?
And you can stick with pencil. One big thing that I'm teaching right now is value. Okay, so you can start to add value to your faces. You have the option to use charcoal if you would like. I think it's an important medium to know about. I'm going to use my chamois to lift up areas where the eyeballs are going to be. All right. Now, I'm going to start to add in the highlights. Now that I got my midtones and my shadows, highlights is next. You want a good balance with your highlights, and you need to think, where's the skull at? Does anyone see the skull? Oh, Montel's holding the skull. The way highlights work is that light, this light source anyway, is coming from the top. It's going to hit areas that are jutting out. So you're going to have highlights on the brow, your ridge, tip of your nose, your chin, your lower lip, and your cheekbones. So that's where I'm going to start to add in my highlights. There are 2 ways to use a kneaded eraser. This is a kneaded eraser. The way to clean it when it gets dirty is just stretch it out. Okay? Knead it a little bit. then you're good to go. You can do the pickup method, where you just push it into the paper, twist it a little bit, starts to pick up, or you can drag, okay? 2 different ways. I like to use a combination of both, depending on what I'm trying to do. I use pickup if I need a general area with softer edges. So right now, I'm adding in the highlights to my nose. I'm gonna add in some highlights to my upper lip. Some highlights to my chin. All right, of course, the cheekbones. Upper brow ridge. And then a little bit right here in the cranium. All right, now this face is already starting to come together. Complete with values, things like that. Add a little bit of highlight right here. All right, so now I'm going to use my finger, help blend in some shadows with the highlights, create a mid-tone between them. Do a little bit of adjustment right here. Now I'm going to go back with my charcoal and start to add in some line details. Okay? The way that charcoal is, we're using it as mass drawing. What we've mostly been doing in terms of drawing the figure and face is we've been doing line drawing. So combining the ideas of mass drawing and line drawing is going to help really bring your piece together. Okay? Now I'm going to use my chamois to pick up some shadows, lighten it up in certain areas, create some eyelids, just a little bit. Again, I'm going to go back with my charcoal, add in that heavy line between the upper and the lower lip. I'm going to lighten up that shape right here. Have a little bit more definition. Define the edge for the nose a little bit more as well. Go back over it with a chamois to blend in that line. You don't want too harsh of lines happening. And then, oh, I forgot to add the ears. Something I like about charcoal is you can be kind of loose with it. All right, so now all I need to add in is the neck. Add in some value for that neck as well. Help blend that in a little bit. Add in some highlights at the top of the neck. This light hits your shoulders like that. Add in the hair. When I draw hair, I draw it in clumps, okay? So let's say I'm gonna have a clump here, I have a clump here, and a clump here, one clump there, one clump there. Use the edge, help fill that in. Use the finger to fill that in as well. A little bit of the chamois in the middle of my hair. And then add a little bit of highlights where light is hitting your hair. All right, and then that's where we have our general figure and face. Does anyone have any questions? What's up? It's fast, yeah, with charcoal, I like charcoal when doing things with value because you can work fast. But you gotta be careful, because fast can go into messy very quickly. So you have to be selective on where you put things. So now, I'm just adding in details, things like that. If you guys would like to use charcoal, come see me. I'll give you the materials that you need.